everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim.
Can you smell what the XFL is cooking?
As always, we are joined by the one, the only, it is Erik, a.k.a. Uncle Rico, the man, the myth, the legend. And before we get into anything else, as always, as every episode is, Spring Fever, this episode of Spring Fever, is brought to you by Royal Retros, your one-stop shop for all the best merch. Philadelphia Stars, they got it. Seattle Dragons, they got it. New Orleans Breakers, they got it. Even outside of football, they got it. And when you go to Royal Retros to get dabbed up in the best merch in the game, use promo code SPRINGFEVER, all one word, all caps, for 10% off at checkout. Erik, how was your weekend? I'm sorry I didn't stream again. Your productivity in the tank, my man.
Dude, I'm not getting as much stuff done as I should be because you're not around yet.
Did you notice like an actual difference?
Yeah, I'm distracted more. I'm doing more stuff around the house. At least like when you're here, I'm forced to sit down here and I'm like usually doing something and like getting stuff done. I looked Sunday, I was like, Jesus Christ, you're behind on your to-do list.
Speaking of being like, it all springs up on you. So when I have these weekends where I got stuff going on and I can't watch the games live, what I end up doing is when I get home, I have to watch all the games back to back to back to back. So I kind of sit down for dinner, and before I know it, it's like 2 a.m. I just watched the entire weekend of UFL in one sitting.
That's crazy, man.
It's beautiful is what it is.
I mean, that's a lot of stuff, dude. Like, that's a lot, dude.
Erik, you weren't there. I don't even think so. We didn't know each other in 2020. No. So I was going through, and there was only 5 weeks of the XFL in 2020, but I was doing like a hype video for every team that played those 5 weeks. So I would have to sit through all 5 weeks of every team's like games to like cut out all the clips and the highlights. I would sit there night after night for each team and just like pour through an entire game while editing it down.
Jesus, dude.
It was that was a grind. That was a grind. Shout out Lemon. Always be drinking the Miller. Always. It's high life or bust.
I've been really getting into this Pacifico lately.
Dude, Pacifico in the summer's delicious. You know what my favorite summer drink is, though?
An Oberon?
I don't know what that is.
It's a beer from Michigan.
No, it's not a beer. Little G&T, Erik. Little gin and tonic.
Little gin and tonic, dude.
I love a gin and tonic on a hot summer's day. Love it.
Respect.
Before we get into the recap, before we do anything, obviously we're going to recap week 8. We're going to get you into week 9. I binged watched it, and then I also went back and watched the highlights. Erik is going to give the perspective of the everyman. Before we do any of that, and before I get into quizzing Erik about what we usually quiz about, Erik, I have a take that I've been trying to like muddle around, and I believe you have this similar take. So I've heard some rumors. It looks like the UFL's debating whether or not to change up the start time next year. Good move, bad move.
Well, what start time?
I think from what I've gathered, this is all rumors. None of this is like crystal clear. We're just giving takes. It looks like they're potentially going to move earlier.
So like in the morning.
No. Earlier in this, like start the season early.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. They should start right after the freaking Super Bowl.
The reason that some people I talked about it with the guys on the Sports Hole yesterday. It's another podcast I do with 2 guys from LA. Matt, you know Maddie. You haven't met Luke, but you know Maddie.
I know Maddie.
But he was worried that if they start in say February right after the Super Bowl, then you're like a huge chunk of your season is directly competing with March Madness.
Okay.
Which I think is valid, but the worry for me right now, and as I get to quizzing Erik about the attendance numbers and the TV viewership, the worry for me is the deeper into summer we get, the more people are like going outside and doing like other activities. There's like we just had Mother's Day. There's graduations going on. There's events that like cause people to not be at their
Memorial
TV
Day is
watching
this
football.
weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, you got
Memorial
some
Weekend's
like
this
that.
weekend.
Memorial Weekend is this weekend. There's high school graduations probably next weekend.
College graduations.
And then they people like will take off that first weekend of summer. So last week, the 2 playoff weeks people are missing. I personally think that when you really look at it, and I understand the March Madness thing, but there's only one weekend where there's games in the morning throughout the day, if you will. And that's Saturday, Sunday, because the March Madness stuff, and there's only one game too. You know what I mean? It's not like Thursday, Friday are the big days for March Madness. That's when there's games nonstop.
That's true.
Friday, there's one game at 1, followed by a game at 4, and then they start doing a couple more games. If you start earlier that day, I think you're going to be fine. You know what I mean?
They've done a good job about starting early anyway. They usually start at about
it's not like
11 our time anyway.
It's not like, so I mean, the competition's going to be there, but it's just going to be one game. And if it's a blowout, the early game, it's usually like a 7-10 versus a 2, an 8-9 versus a 1 in the early slot. And if it's a blowout, maybe people will go to the other one.
And to be fair, it's usually, I mean, for the most part, it's usually like the first week that's the big that everyone tunes into, and then maybe it kind of dies out after that. I'm in the agreement with you. I think it should start right after football. I think it should start right after the NFL.
Yeah.
Also,
and then you can have promos going out.
Yeah, get your promos going, and then I would also maybe at some points in the season maybe experiment with like a Friday game. We've talked about this before. We talked about this a little last week. I think experimenting with a Friday game would be sick.
A Friday game would be great.
That's what the CFL does. The CFL, like their main game is the Friday night game.
But if you do that, it's going to be on FS1.
I'm saying you just throw one game on there.
I know. I'm just saying, but the numbers will hurt because it's going to be on FS1. It's not going to be on.
You know what? Never mind then. Scratch that because I want the least amount of games on FS1 and ESPN2 as possible.
It's not going to be on Fox. It's not because Fox has played $1 million for SmackDown. It's not going to be on ESPN because they have the deal with the NHL and the NBA.
Scratch that then. I want as many games on network TV as possible. Now to the quiz portion of the show, Eric. Sans St. Louis, so get rid of St. Louis. It's obviously them. What team had the highest attendance, Eric? So you had the Michigan Panthers at home, you had the Birmingham Stallions at home, and you had you were right with your first answer. It was the San Antonio Brahmas, 11,395. Birmingham trailed at 10,245, and Michigan with 9,370. Still, Michigan for 2 weeks in a row now has actually gone up,
which is huge.
Jeff also chiming in. I think Fox loses Friday night WWE soon, and they added Friday night college football. I agree with Michael here. I think getting certain time slots at the expense of losing network TV is not the move.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You need as many games on network TV as possible, and then you need to time them out right. Eric, most watched game of the weekend.
Oh, God, most watched game. Most watched game.
So we don't have
next.
You're gonna go Stallions, Roughnecks.
Yeah.
That would be incorrect, Eric. That was on ESPN2. That was the least watched game. The most watched game was DC St. Louis.
Yeah.
1.1 million on ABC.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Houston Birmingham on ESPN2. 254,000. But also, I looked up, that's basically what ESPN2 averages. Like, ESPN2 and FS1 aren't that different. The interesting ones that are a little weird, Memphis Showboats, Michigan Panthers on Fox, 673,000, and Renegades Brahmas also on Fox, 545,000.
Decent.
That's all right. I don't understand. Like, this is network TV. ABC stepping up. I don't know what's causing Fox to go down.
What time of day was the Fox games at?
Let's take a look-see, shall we? Week 8. So the Memphis Showboats Panthers game was on at 3 p.m. Central, Saturday.
I'm having some audio issues.
What audio issues are you having? Can you not hear
I'm
me,
having
Erik?
audio issues. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? We're having technical difficulties live, folks. It'll be fine.
It said my AirPods had been connected.
Oh, it connected to your AirPods?
Yeah, but my AirPods are like put away. That's weird.
That is weird.
But
So, yes.
go ahead. Go ahead. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Showboats, Panthers, Saturday at 3 p.m. Our time.
Saturday at 3 p.m. What was going on Saturday? There was
Preakness?
nothing going on Saturday.
Preakness?
Saturday, the Preakness was happening, yes. The Preakness was happening.
Could be that. And then we had Sunday at 3 p.m.
You had Knicks Pacers game 7.
That could be it.
Yeah.
That could be it. We'll go with that. Attendance-wise, attendance was like kind of up across the board. I like seeing Birmingham consistently get more than 10,000 people. That's good to see.
That is really good to see.
Now, Erik, the recap. The playoffs are locked in. We have the Michigan Panthers taking on the Birmingham Stallions in Birmingham no matter what. They don't have a first place set in stone yet in the USFL conference, but no matter what, the game will be held in Birmingham. And then we have the St. Louis Battlehawks taking on the San Antonio Brahmas. Site to be determined with whoever wins the XFL conference.
Okay. All right.
So we locked in everything. The Panthers locked in their spot. Both the Panthers and the Stallions locked in their spot last week. And this week, the Panthers win 24-18 against the Memphis Showboats. The Showboats put up a bit of a fight. They at least put up a fight.
They did. Covered our number. What do we have, 9?
We didn't have it. Remember, there were no spreads last week.
Oh, we gave it out on...
I gave it on Brunch Time Betting. Shout out Dean Blandino and the Danish handball.
Dude, knows his shit. Yeah, I tailed you on the bet. That covered the +8. Unfortunately, the money line couldn't get home. They're in a position. They just have way too many holes at the skill position. Their offensive line is weak. Panthers are just kind of... I think the money play is like these teams that are locked in for the playoffs. We just need to keep fading them moving forward.
With a number. I think so. I also think the Panthers should probably just go with Bryce Perkins flat out. I think he's better than Brian Lewerke. I think he's better than EJ. I think he's better than any other quarterback they've shown this year.
I'm not going to lie. It doesn't take much to be better than Brian Lewerke.
Well, he's better than them, but he's also he's looked better than EJ Perry. He's looked better than Danny Etley. He's looked like the best quarterback they have.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I would just start Bryce Perkins. Defense is online. The Panthers are one of those teams that I really like that they've been getting like a little bit better each of these last couple weeks. I think they're starting to peak at the right time. So watch out. I mean, it doesn't really matter in week 10, but week 10 is a preview for the playoffs.
Yep.
Because we have, I believe, if I look again, I think we have the Panthers versus the Stallions and the Battlehawks versus the Brahmas.
Yep. Week
which
10,
is awesome.
Panthers, Stallions, Brahmas, Battlehawks.
Literally Saturday will be a playoff preview. Probably the only game that actually matters for that will be San Antonio, St. Louis, because they'll still probably be playing for which team gets a home playoff. Which I think that would, for the XFL, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Having to play in St. Louis.
That's just bet the under and call it a day.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to shore up all the injuries and everything like that. For the Showboats, disappointing season, extremely so. Worst offensive line I've ever seen.
They were
giving
one of the betting favorites, weren't they? If I remember correctly.
they were like middle. There was a decent middle of the pack. They were one of them. But I think they're fine. Michael's also, I believe, yeah. I have a feeling every team would want to save their trump cards for the playoffs, probably. But also, teams like the Battlehawks are still trying to get like better.
No.
And we'll get into this later, but like some people are coming online for teams like the Showboats. I mean, I would say start Josh Love. As much as I love Case Cookus, give these other guys a shot to like get their film out there. You know.
Uh-huh.
I will also say Dawood Davis is. I would be shocked if he's not on an NFL practice squad this season.
Really? Interesting.
He is so good. He is so good. Dawood Davis is one of like skill-wise, and I get he's on a bad team, but skill-wise, dude, he is a top 3 receiver in this league.
Okay.
I love Dawood Davis. Love him. Game number 2.
Little man crush on him?
Yes. Game 2, Roughnecks fall to the Stallions 28-35. Also covered the spread. Stallions might go undefeated here, dude.
Is Skip Holtz just a lifer in this?
I think so. He's the king of spring.
You know, he's just the king of the world, just going through his own thing, you know, whatever. Boom, done.
He's really good. Again, similar thing for the Roughnecks. At this point, probably just play Nolan Henderson. Just give him his shot. Let him start, see what you got. And again, Mark Thompson is a dude. I expect someone like Mark Thompson to be on a practice squad somewhere.
I agree with that.
Maybe get some preseason play. He's like he's a good built running back. He can put people in the dirt. I love him. The Stallions, they just own everybody. And this was even like sort of a sloppier game from them. Because the Roughnecks were hanging around and doing it. They just couldn't get it done. But the Stallions are just that. Like they're the best team in the league. I don't know what else to say.
Skip Holtz effect, man. Skip Holtz, dude.
I've never seen Adrian Martinez look this good.
Skip Holtz, dude. He just understands how to make players win, dude.
It's fucking
disgusting.
Disgusting. Defenders fall to the Battlehawks 21-26. A little controversy in this game. Some people, mainly DC fans, have alluded that there was a little bit of collusion where the refs were maybe calling it a certain way. Ethan also has a question for me.
Why is that?
Tornadoes if I'm not streaming? No, I do not. Well, I do.
Like, I didn't see the game, so what? Like literally.
So there was a controversial touchdown call from for St. Louis, where Wayne Gallman kind of like looks like he might have gotten in the end zone or might not have. So then they called it they went up to Dean Blandino. He called it for St. Louis. People were also alluding at the end of the game, like one of the final drives, Jordan Tomo gets kind of like knocked out with a stinger, but they were like alleging roughing the passer. It didn't look like he hit him in the helmet. It looked like he hit him in the shoulder. So I'm okay with stuff like that. Also, DC, if you're alluding for the fact that they want St. Louis in the playoffs, maybe find a way to not lose by 40 points in the previous game.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Don't shit the bed by 40.
Obviously, they want St. Louis in the playoffs, but guess what? They wanted St. Louis in the playoffs in the XFL last year, and they didn't make it. I don't think there's any collusion going on here.
There's no collusion.
Again, DC probably let someone other than Jordan Tomo get a shot.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, and people are waking up. Jordan Tomo is not a difference maker. He's
been off last two spring football terms.
Well, he was good last year.
He was okay last year.
Well, his stats were good, but you know why? His team was good. When the surrounding cast of Jordan Tomo is good, he can be a top 3 quarterback in your league. If that surrounding cast is not excellent, he's mid. He is just very middle of the pack. Leads the leagues in turnovers, I believe. Let me take a look. Real quick. Player stats. I want to see who leads the league in turnovers. Erik, what's your guess?
I'll go Tamu.
Let's see. Interceptions. Jordan Tamu leads the league in interceptions.
Respect.
Followed closely by Quentin Dormady. That's actually a worse stat for Quentin Dormady because Quentin Dormady has only played 5 games and he has 6 interceptions.
Jesus, Dorms.
For starting quarterbacks, least amount of interceptions.
AJ.
It is Adrian Martinez. It's Adrian Martinez. The really impressive one is Luis Perez with 2 because Luis Perez has started like all the games.
That's pretty good. Louis.
AJ McCarron only has 3.
That's still phenomenal, dude.
That is. That Quentin Dormady one is bad. 6 in 5 games is bad.
That's god awful, dude.
Jordan Tomu with 7 in 8 games.
Okay. Awful, but it's what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, DC's like, this knocks them out. St. Louis is locked in. Manny Wilkins is a pretty good like backup to have for AJ. He can run the ball really well. I think they'll be all right. They really do want that home field advantage, though.
Oh, 100%. Why wouldn't they?
Lemon V Cuts chimes in. I think Jordan's missing Chris Blair and Lucky Jackson. I think he's also missing. Who was the running back that got hurt? Abram Smith. They're missing a lot, but that just goes to show that like he's not the difference maker.
Yeah, he's not the guy.
Also, yes, Luis Perez leads the league in passing. Like the offense, we've said it week in and week out. The offense for the Renegades generally has not been the problem.
It's that barn burner of a defense.
It's that terrible defense. Speaking of which, the Renegades fall 15-20 to the San Antonio Brahmas. This is the best offensive performance for the Brahmas. Take it with a grain of salt because, like we said, this Renegades defense is god awful. But there is promise on the horizon for the Brahmas, Eric, because Chase Garbers is out of injury reserve.
There we go.
Chase Garbers could come back for the playoffs.
Look at that, dude.
And if you remember, when he played for the first 3 weeks and then got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He was my early pick for MVP. He was looking out of this world.
It goes back to what I told you. Maybe it's just their year, man.
Hey, things are coming up Brahmas here. Also, let me take a look. I want to see player stats. I want to see where he ranks because he only played like 3 games. So he's not in the top 10 for, let's see, for just passing yards. I still can't believe Luis Perez is 400 yards more than the next closest, which is AJ McCarron.
That is absolutely insane.
Which is, his average per attempt is also 7 yards. So it's one of the higher ones too.
That is absurd.
Let me see. Where is my love? Oh, did they take him off because he's on injury reserve? Did they take him off because he's on injury reserve? No, they can't. Oh, he's still. If you go by passing yards, Eric, Chase Garbers is number 9 with passing yards.
Jesus, dude.
With 586. He played 3 games.
Okay.
If we go by completion percentage.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Come on. Actually, give me the top percentage here. What was his completion percentage? 70% completion percentage through 3 games.
Okay. I'm telling you, man, I just got...
And he's number 6 in touchdown passes.
Don't mess around with my boy, Uncle Wade, man.
Dude, if he comes back and lights it up, Chase Garbers was one of my favorite quarterbacks for this like whole deal. Again, the Renegades, they look good. They can't do it. We've seen this time and time again.
Do you think what's his face? I'm spacing on the coach's name.
Stoops?
Think he steps down?
No, I don't think it's Stoops. I think he probably gets rid of the DC though.
He keeps grinding. What head coach do you think is going to get let go?
I don't think anyone gets let go. There might be one who walks away. I don't think anyone gets fired.
Really?
Yep, I don't think anyone gets fired after year 1. Because they've some of the teams have shown promises. Like the candidates are Like, Bob Stoops ain't getting fired. That's just not happening. Bob Stoops is walking away when he's walking away, but he's not getting fired. Wade Phillips, of course, is not.
Yeah.
Skip Holtz, no. Anthony Beck, no. Mike Nolan might get Coach of the Year up in Michigan. So
Really?
he's staying. Dude, Michigan has been god-awful these past 2 years. And now they're in the playoffs with a potential to get the 1 seed in the USFL conference?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, come on. Reggie Barlow for DC, no. Like, yes, this is a really bad year. But guess what? They were, like, the number 1 team last year and made it to the conference, like the championship. He's not getting fired. CJ Johnson at Houston, he's the only option I could see getting fired, but I don't think they fire him.
Okay.
Michael, I'm also happy the UFL's making it into 2025. Very happy. Before we get into the previews, Erik, favorite ice cream flavor, go.
Jesus.
On the spot.
I kind of like black cherry.
As an ice cream flavor.
Yeah.
I like it as a soda. Ice cream is wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I like Mackinac Island fudge too.
Oh, that's my answer right there, dude. Mackinac Island fudge is the best ice cream flavor.
I mean,
it's undefeated. It's so good.
Well, I did grow up in Michigan, so Superman was pretty big back in the day.
What's that?
Oh my god, it's just flavor, like blue, red, all the different flavors.
I dig that. Erik, you ready to get some picks going?
Let's do it, big dog.
It is week 9 in the UFL. Beautiful Saturday morning slate. Let's start it off 11 a.m. Central Time Saturday. The St. Louis Battlehawks head over to Arlington to face on the Renegades. The Battlehawks are a 3.5-point road favorite with a total set at 46, plus 160 on the money line for the Renegades.
So here's my question for you. Okay. Battlehawks lose to the Renegades. Brahmas beat the Stallions. Battlehawks beat the Brahmas. Do the Battlehawks have home field advantage?
Yes, because they're 2-0 against the Brahmas.
I'm taking the Renegades here plus the points in the money line.
I will take the Renegades plus the 3.5. I will take the over 46, and I'm not going to take the money line. I have seen too many times where these Renegades teams just throw away wins.
No,
I will take the Renegades first half. I will take the first half money line.
I'm playing the spot, dude. The spot says that the Battlehawks just want to get through it. You already said that AJ isn't playing.
They also, like, their offensive line had guys, like, playing and whatnot. They're banged up. They're still banged up.
It wouldn't surprise me if this is a rest game.
Speaking of which, another guy I could see, like, he'll get another shot even though he had a bad NFL preseason last year. Hakeem Butler will get a shot.
He definitely has an NFL body.
He does, but, like, did you watch him in the NFL preseason last year?
No.
Drop City.
Probably
really
tight,
bad hands.
The Chargers.
He was with the Steelers last year.
He could, like, look at the Chargers offensive line. Like, offensive wide receivers. They're brutal.
Oh, he could. The issue is, like, he's got the body for it. He just, like, I don't know what it is. When I've seen him in the NFL, Drop City. Lemon calling it, he's got Renegades 34-26, by the way.
There you go, Lemon. I co-sign.
Game number 2. Birmingham Stallions head down to San Antone, baby, to take on the Brahmas. The Birmingham Stallions are an 8.5-point road favorite, over under 44, plus 340 on the money line.
Here's my question to you. Renegades lose. No, sorry. Battlehawks lose. Brahmas lose. Then the following week, Brahmas win. Do they host the game?
Yeah. If both the Battlehawks and the Brahmas lose, and then the Brahmas win next week.
No. If the Brahmas win. So if the Brahmas win, Like, what? I guess my thing is like, what do the Brahmas have to gain from this?
I mean, if the Battlehawks lose and the Brahmas win one more game, and then they get home field advantage.
But I'm saying, all right. So the Battlehawks lose.
Okay.
The Brahmas win.
Okay.
That next week still determines who has home field advantage, right?
Yes.
So why are they going to show their cards here?
Because I think potentially if the Battlehawks win and the Brahmas lose, then that game doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters either way, because that's how I'm interpreting it. Because if the Battlehawks, so if the Brahmas enter 7-2 and the Battlehawks enter 6-3 and the Battlehawks win, how is that tiebreaker determined? I guess that's my question.
It'd probably be like points for, points against, like wins against conference. And since San Antonio has a loss against DC and St. Louis has no losses in conference, I think St. Louis would get it.
Then this game means nothing to them.
I mean, if St. Louis wins and San Antonio loses, I think it's done.
Wins, then the Brahmas have to win. But I'm going on the assumption the Battlehawks are going to lose.
That's fair. Then this game's more, but it's meaningless for both teams in that regard.
So then you play the under.
I'm going to play the under. I'm playing under 44 here. I'd also play the Brahmas with the points.
Okay. Respect.
Like the Stallions, like they are going to be resting people, I assume. We've seen them do this before.
Yeah.
Especially like at the end of the season of the USFL, both last year and the year before, it got messy. The games got ugly.
Got a little messy.
Now Sunday, Eric, another doubleheader.
At the same time.
Both games at 1:30.
And a holiday weekend. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Love it from Fox. I believe that's a Fox deal. I don't know.
Fox, look, the Coca-Cola 600s that weekend. They probably don't want anything going against. We went over this like 2 weeks ago, I think. Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah, both on Fox.
So basically, why not move a game till Monday? Oh, wow. That's an idea.
On a holiday?
I mean, would you rather have that or have them go?
No, I'd rather have it on a holiday. For sure.
Or why not go late night? Not late night. Why not go like a 5 or a 6 p.m. on Saturday?
Yeah, do a triple header Saturday instead.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that. I would have preferred a triple header Saturday for sure. But we have the Panthers taking on the Roughnecks. The Panthers are a 3-point road favorite, over under set at 40, plus 154 on the money line. I'm going to take the Roughnecks straight up.
Yeah, this is a dog weekend, dude.
The Panthers probably get this win, but something tells me about this Roughnecks team. The Panthers are still trying things out. They're still doing like the 2 quarterback thing to see who they got, which I don't blame them to like play it out. You're already locked in for the playoffs. And you don't get home field advantage no matter what the game's going to be in Birmingham, so none of their games matter. I say I'm going to take the Roughnecks plus the 3. I'm going to take the plus 154. You might even eventually get a 3.5.
You think this goes up?
It looks like the line is moving up.
Okay.
Because right now on DraftKings, it's -3 to the Panthers, -118.
Respect.
Maybe I'm stupid and don't know how to read lines, though. Don't listen to me.
Well, dude, I get called stupid all the time, so I think you're smart, though.
Eric, I am stupid. I don't get called stupid. I am stupid. Last game, Eric, also at 1:30 on Sunday. DC Defenders go into Memphis to take on the Showboats. The Defenders are 5-point road favorites with a total set at 46. Let me check. That is tied for the highest total of the weekend. Plus 195 on the money line for the Boats.
This is a pride game. Which team do you think has more pride?
I just think this is so like DC consistently tries to run the ball. And you know what they love to do is blitz. Memphis is going to die here. I'm going to take DC. I'm not going to take a -5. What I am going to do, though, is take the over. Because I just feel points in this game. Showboat's defense stinks, too. And DC's defense, like, if whoever the quarterback for the Memphis Showboats is, if they can get rid of the ball quick, they can actually maybe do something here.
Okay.
I'm going for a messy, fun game. Give me over. Give me the over 46.
I'm not going to touch this game.
If I went any way on the spread, I actually like the Defenders -5 here. The Showboats are so bad.
I mean, I'll be honest. For me, this weekend, there's 2 games I feel like I'm going to be betting on.
It's the 2 Saturday games.
It's the Renegades, the points, and then the Roughnecks and the points.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, because the Stallions, Brahmas, that's under first half for me for sure. But sidewise, it's really hard because I don't think any team has that much to play for.
That's fair. Erik, you know what time it is now?
Dun, 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 dun.
It's Erik's favorite time. It's his favorite part of the show. It's making a DraftKings lineup, everybody.
This week could be tough.
Erik, last week was tough. This week might be tougher.
All right, so let's start off.
Adrian Martinez is up to 11,500. Jay Christmas.
Is there a world where he doesn't play?
There's a potential world where he doesn't play, but I think Skip Holtz is really trying to vie him for the MVP and get him a lot of good film. So he probably plays. But this San Antonio defense is legit.
All right.
It's gross. It's really gross, Erik.
Yep.
I think that the plays are either Jordan Ta'amu or Manny Wilkins.
Jesus Christ.
Who else? With Michigan, we don't know who. They're gonna split time because they're still trying to get Lewerke in there. They're trying to get Perkins and Lewerke both in there.
Right, let's go JT Ta'amu.
Martinez will consistently get you all those points, but he's so expensive for going up against the best defense.
Yeah, we're going Ta'amu, dude. I got you, man. I'm with you.
I also just like taking anyone against Memphis. Memphis is trash.
I got you. Rushing
is tough. Colburn did good for us last week, but again, now he's facing against Houston.
All right, so defender.
I agree, Michael. By the way, Bryce Perkins should be QB1.
I mean, I don't. The Showboats do try to run.
They do, but Darius Victor was awful for us.
We see the Battlehawks because of no AJ have more of a rushing attack.
They did, but it was so. Who was there? So Wayne Gallman got all their points last week, but Sailors is mainly their go-to guy.
But how much is he going to play though?
So he had 9 rush attempts when Gallman did. Sailors last week had 10 rushing attempts.
Okay, so it's a split backfield.
Yeah, they do an even amount between both these guys. It's it's kind of a toss up for who would score touchdowns.
Let's take Gallman.
You want to take Gallman?
Yeah.
Much cheaper option. I don't want to take any St. Louis receiver this week.
Oh, that's fine.
None of them were that great last week. I do want to see if we could get one DC guy in there.
What's next? We're to beat the Panthers. Who would be the guy?
It would probably be.
Who on that team would have a good game?
I always want to say, I feel like Chisholm gets targeted a lot. Yeah, targeted a decent amount. He's always the name that comes to mind.
You want to go the Chiz?
You want to go Kiki Chisholm? I could fuck with the Chiz. And I feel like I want to get one DC guy in there to stack with Ta'amu.
Okay.
I get that they stink, but I want to get one guy in there.
All right.
The only question is who. I think Ty Scott seems to be his go-to guy. Kiki Kuti is someone I've tried to go for, but he's never lived up to it.
Don't believe the hype. What about Calvin Harmon?
For what? Oh, Rowland? Chris
Yeah.
Rowland?
No. Calvin Harmon for the Defenders.
The running back?
Yeah, what about him?
You talking about Cameron Harris?
No.
Or who are you talking about?
Calvin Hammond for the Defenders.
As a receiver? He's not on here.
How's he not on here, dude?
What?
7 games played,
Who are you talking about?
47 targets.
What's the guy's name? What's his name, Eric? Kelvin.
He's not listed, dude.
Yeah, he's not listed.
What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I think he's hurt. Eric.
He's a wide receiver. He plays for the freaking Defenders.
Yeah, I think he's hurt.
Yeah, placed on injured reserve. That's why. Duh. Ty Scott.
I like the Ty Scott option. He's his number one guy.
All right, let's go Ty Scott.
Again, $6,700, not like terrible expensive. We got 2 flexes.
Who's our white? Oh, never mind. I put Sky in as that. My bad.
We got Chisholm and Scott as our receivers right now.
My bad. All right, let's put in a defense. Defense. What do you want to go with?
Ooh, defense. I could see going Roughnecks.
Ooh. Let's go Roughnecks. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do the Roughnecks.
Like, I get Michigan's just like not really caring this week, so maybe they can get something done against Michigan, against the Panthers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, McFarland, you're so pricey. You did so good last week.
I know, but how much is he going to play this week?
He splits time. Him and Lovett split time, so you just kind of gotta like pick and choose here. Michael Bias does make a good point that Mark Thompson is a beast for the Roughnecks.
Right.
What's he priced at? 7,900. I just want to see what he got last week. He got 17 points last week.
All right,
easily his best game.
Let's go him. All right. So
we have 8,600.
So we can go McFarland.
We go Lovett, Kane, Peyton. We could not go McFarland, can't we? No, we cannot go McFarland.
So this is your call, my friend. I'm handing you the keys right now.
Who did I put in? Oh, did I put? Oh, I put Justin Hall for some reason. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to put Mark Thompson. There we go. 9,200. So we have way more options.
Yep.
So we have Dawood Davis. We have McFarland. We have Ricky Person Jr. Deion Kane. Colburn. You want to just go with our tried and true Sal Cannella?
Let's do it. Give me Big Sal.
He's been like consistently good for us, dude. Let me take a look. Like 23, 30, 17, 10. He's been like consistently good.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
And then we could change up. We could get any defense we want then, Eric, if you want to do something other than the Roughnecks. We can get we can get Stallions against San Antonio. We can get the Brahmas against Birmingham. We can get the Showboats, Renegades, or Roughnecks. If the Brahmas are starting Quentin Dormady, I almost want to take the Stallions.
I'm sorry, repeat your sentence.
If the Brahmas are starting Quentin Dormady, I kind of want to take the Stallions here.
Okay, let's do it.
Marcus Sims is a baller. I'm pretty sure Sims fucked me last week though. So
let's do it, man.
So our lineup for Week 9 of UFL action. Jordan Tamu, Wayne Gallman, Kiki Chisholm, Ty Scott, Mark Thompson, Sal Cannella, and the Birmingham Stallions defense.
And Jim's going to text me to remind me to put this fucking lineup in, too.
I will text you to remind you. Hopefully the lineup stays. The lineup disappeared for me last week.
I took a picture of it, so I should remember.
You better. You better, Eric. Eric, any other takes or thoughts for the upcoming Week 9 of the UFL?
I can't believe it's almost over.
Right? It felt like just yesterday we were watching some beautiful UFL like Week 3 action. And now there's only 2 weeks left. And guess what? Guess who already got his tickets to the championship?
I'm guessing you.
I'm going to be sitting on the 50-yard line, baby.
Tickets to UFL. I expect a blog type video.
A vlog, perhaps?
Yes, a vlog type video, if you will. Of you traveling there, you interacting with the people.
Eric, you also want to kind of like hear about time moving by faster. Do you know what happens in 2 weeks?
CFL starts?
Week 1 of the CFL. The preseason is already here. You can watch the preseason games for free on CFL Plus. Go check them out. But the real CFL season starts June 6th in 2 fucking weeks.
What's the opening game?
For the CFL, it is the Montreal Alouettes versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a rematch of the Grey Cup last year. Thursday at 7:30 p.m. our time.
Dude, how bad is Winnipeg gonna curb stomp you?
Am I gonna do a watch along on Thursday night? I just fucking might. I just might. Friday, Hamilton versus Calgary, Saskatchewan versus Edmonton. Edmonton been doing interesting things at the quarterback position. BC versus Toronto. Who's Toronto going to try out there now that Chad Kelly's suspended for like 9 weeks?
They don't have fucking week 1 lines up yet. What the fuck?
Eric, they won't. They'll have week 1 lines up like the week before or like the week of.
Right. Yeah, I'm a planner, dude. You know me,
These
Jimmy.
books are so slow.
You know me, Jimmy. I'm a planner.
Also, Eric, for that, we will have to pick a CFL team for me to bet on, and I already have the bet that I'm going to be doing if they win. The bet, we don't have a team lined up yet. I'm going to spin the wheel with all the CFL teams on them. But whichever one it lands on, if they win the Grey Cup, I will chug a bottle of syrup live on show.
Jesus.
Just wait, Eric, because I got one for the college football show, and I have one for the NFL later this year, too. And you want to know what the bets are? We don't have teams yet, but I'll give the people a little preview. The bets will be, for college football, I'm going to take all the Power 4 teams, put them in a wheel, and if whatever team it lands on, if that team wins, I'm going to get a tattoo. Don't know what of, but I'm going to get a tattoo. For the NFL, I will take all the NFL teams, and if that team wins a Super Bowl, I'm going to get my left nipple pierced. So be on the lookout for those wheels and those shows coming up sometime this summer. But for now, we say farewell, and we will see you guys next time for another exciting, arousing episode. Oh, Maddie chiming in. Get a tattoo of a butt on your butt. That's an option. But for now, folks, we will see you next time for another exciting and erotic episode of Spring Fever. Bye-bye, everybody.